Hi guys, Nessa here. Today we're going to be making some huckleberry streusel muffins, and I hope you'll join me. So first step, we need to make our streusel. We have some melted butter here. We have 1/4 of a cup of melted butter. We have 1/2 cup of granulated sugar, 1/3 of a cup of all-purpose flour, and 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. We're going to just combine these all together and give them a stir. And this flour with this butter is going to make that nice, light, delicious, crummy crumb topping that we all love. That cinnamon smells amazing already. These muffins just couldn't be any easier. You could add, if you don't have huckleberries, you could add blueberries, you could add mixed berries. If you have a bag of frozen mixed berries, you can use, by the way, you can use frozen or fresh fruit. All right, so we've got it nice and crumbly. Big chunks are okay because that's just going to add some more texture. You could put some nuts in here, some chopped up nuts if you want some chopped up nuts. We're going to have these nut free today because we're kind of a little nutty anyway. Okay, well, anyway. So there we have it. There's our streusel topping. And then we're going to start on our batter. Next up, we've got 1/4 of a cup of butter here that's been softened. To this, we're going to add our granulated sugar and give that a whirl. We just want to cream this together. Next, we're going to add in 1 egg and blend that all together. We want this to be nice and fluffy. Okay, we've got our egg beat into our sugar and butter. Next, we're going to be putting 2 1/3 cups of flour into our bowl here. A separate bowl. There's 2. 1/3. To our flour, we're going to add some baking powder and our salt. We're going to stir that up. I have sifted my baking powder. All right. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be alternating into our butter sugar mixture. We're going to alternate with our flour mixture and our milk. Scrape down your sides. And then we're going to go in with just a little bit of milk. And we're going to blend it. And then we're going to go in with our flour again. And then we're slowly going to drizzle in our milk. And that baking powder in this mix is already starting to work. So at this point we want to work quickly. We're going to add in our vanilla. Make sure you get that all blended in. and scrape down your sides. Make sure there's no flour left on the bottom of your bowl. And then I'm going to try not to make a mess, which probably won't happen. All right. We're going to clean off these beaters. And then we're going to fold in our huckleberries or blueberries, whatever you're using. This is where you're going to fold them in. You're not going to use your beaters. You're going to fold them in with your spatula. Okay. It's looking really good, nice and thick and heavy, but that's okay because we're going to be adding our wet blueberries to this. So I have 1.5 cups of our huckleberries. These are berries that we pick locally here out in our woods. We take a couple days and we pick till we can't pick no more, and what we get is what we get. So these are pretty precious. They're some years these are harder to get than other years. It all depends on our rainfall, and it also depends on if somebody beat you to the berries or something like the bears. Yeah, so we're going to add our precious huckleberries in, and we're going to fold those in. We're going to cut down the middle, and then we're going to fold. Cut down the middle and fold. We don't want these to be purple muffins, so that's why we are folding these in, trying to keep the mixture without turning purple, and looks like mine might end up being purple. You can see how the moisture in those huckleberries have moistened up this dough even more. This is going to make 12 muffins, and my oven is set to 375. Okay, those look pretty good. Now we're going to get them into our greased muffin pan. All right, we're going to take our greased muffin pan. I have a silicone one, so it's just going to pop right out. So I don't need to use any liners or anything. If you don't have that, you may want to use a liner, but I've gone ahead and greased this silicone muffin pan. We're going to fill these 2/3 of the way full. Oh, these huckleberries smell amazing. We have our muffin batter in our pan, and next we're going to go in with our streusel. We're just going to lightly put some of this over the top. This is going to give it that lovely texture when it comes out, and that buttery goodness that we all love. That little bit of cinnamon we got in there, I can smell that. With the combination of these huckleberries, ooh, this is going to be so good. I can't wait to eat these. And there's a lot of streusel in here. You don't have to skimp on these. You can really load these up. Oh, these smell so good already. Okay, we've got all of our streusel here into our pans. Okay, we've got our streusel on here. We're going to pop this into the oven for 35 minutes. All right, our muffins are out of the oven, nice and hot. We're just going to test them with a toothpick to make sure that they are cooked all the way through. You want this to come out clean. A little bit of crumbs is okay, but we don't want to see any wet. And these look perfect. Golden brown, super crummy on the top, These are so gorgeous. I can't wait to dig in. These are hot. These silicone muffin tins are awesome because all you do is push them up from the bottom and it releases that. Just like that, so easy. I love these things. I don't know where I got them. I've had them for a while now, but they sure make muffins easy. Let's cut into this. Oh, you know. Nice and hot. Look at all those huckleberries. Oh, you can, oh, my mouth is watering. You can really smell these berries in there, and that little bit of cinnamon is in the air. Oh, this is going to be good. Let's see if we can get a bite of this without burning my mouth. Mmm. Mmm. Those huckleberries, that tartness of them with that flavor, oh, that is so good. Look at all those berries. Delicious. Every year our family goes out and we go huckleberrying. Sometimes we take some people with us, but not to our secret spots. A lot of people around our area go out into our woods, out into our mountains, and go huckleberrying. It's during the month of July, and some years are better than others, and some years you get a glut of berries, and other years you can't hardly find any. Usually we come across a bear or two. We've even come across some cougar, and that's a little unsettling. But for the most part, it's just a really great time. We go out there, we take our picnic lunch, we head out while it's still dark outside and head to the mountains, which takes us about an hour and a half to 2 hour drive, depending on which spot we go to. And then we pick all day until our backs start screaming and we can't pick no more. Then we fold up our chairs and take our buckets and head back home, and then we've got to bring them in and we've got to clean them and sort them, get all the sticks out. We pick ours by hand. We don't use some people use like a berry scoop, shovel kind of thing. We don't do that. We pick all of ours by hand. We find that they come out cleaner that way. Anyway, once we get home and our backs are aching and we're tired and we're hot, probably hungry, we come home and we take our buckets and we fill them full of water. And we get them, all those berries cleaned off. We scoop off all of the debris out of the bucket, and then we do it all over again. We fill that bucket up with cold water, and we let all the debris come to the top, and we clean them again. And then we scoop them out into a colander, we rinse them, and then we start sorting. We put them out on a towel, and then we start sorting them out and making sure there's no debris left in them whatsoever. You don't want any of that in there. And then we let them dry just for a little bit, and then we package them up into our freezer bags, or sometimes we'll set them aside and make some jam out of them. It's just a really great time of the year, and it's a precious time of the year around here. We take days off of work just to go do this so that we have these delicious huckleberries in our freezer. Around here, a gallon of huckleberries can go for about $100. So these are pretty precious, and people have their secret spots, and nobody likes to tell anybody where their really good spots are, and we're one of them. We have a few spots, and we have one that we call Huckleberry Heaven. And Huckleberry Heaven is a little bit of a drive for us. It's probably about 2.5 hours one way. And our dog that we had, she is the one that found the huckleberry patch that we now call Huckleberry Heaven. I was looking and looking and looking for her, and we're out in the woods camping, and I thought I had seen her, so I headed in her direction. And when I finally caught up to her, I was in huckleberry bushes that were probably about as tall as my head, about right this tall, and they were just loaded. And I could hear my dog, little Maggie, I could hear her in the huckleberry patch going, as she's eating all these berries that she can reach. And I walked up to her. She was so into her berries. She didn't even know I was standing next to her. And she's sitting there eating these berries off of these huckleberry bushes. And she's going, And she just kept going from bush to bush eating these huckleberries. Anyway, it was really funny to see. And now we call that huckleberry heaven because, for one, the bushes are really tall, so you can just stand there. You don't hurt your back while you're picking them. You're not hunched over or bent over. And there's a lot of them, and they're big. Where that patch is, there's a lot of snowpack. And so these berries and these bushes get really big from all that snow that comes in and gives those plants all that extra water, and so they grow really big. And the berries get big. Oh, they're absolutely scrumptious. Anyway, so we have some huckleberries here from our freezer from one of those huckleberrying trips, and we're fortunate, but if you're not, you can substitute with blueberries. I hope you guys will give this a try, and thanks for watching.